everyone, my name is Tracy and this is my very first YouTube video, which I am currently calling VSG and Me, Your Mileage May Vary. There are a lot of videos focusing on VSG or vertical sleeve gastrectomy on the internet right now, especially on YouTube, but I decided to go ahead and make my own. I know this is a situation a lot of people deal with and go to YouTube to try to learn about. So I thought that I would throw in my 2 cents. So, some basics. I am in Texas. I am currently seeing Dr. Terry Scarborough at TLC, Texas Laparoscopic Consults, in Houston, Texas. And currently it is my intent to have the vertical sleeve gastrectomy at some point in the next few weeks or months, depending on what my insurance company says. I am a military spouse, so I am with TRICARE Prime. And so far the process has been pretty painless. Waiting for the appointment really was the hardest part. It was about 6 weeks out from the time I made the appointment. I scheduled the appointment at the end of November, and my first consult appointment with Dr. Scarborough was on February 2nd of 2017, this year. And that was really, the drive was the hardest part. They sent me all the paperwork ahead of time. I got in, the wait was minimal, and they took me back and they said, first things first, we're going to take you through so you can see what your insurance requirements are. So my insurance requirements for TRICARE were to complete a nutrition course online, which unfortunately I had to pay for myself, but it only cost me $60. And I had to do a upper endoscopy, which I actually did today. I had to do the online education, and I had to meet certain weight and BMI requirements, which was no problem for. I'll get to that in a minute as well. So I did have the upper endoscopy, or EGD, today, and that was done at the Memorial Hermann Surgical Center in downtown Houston Medical Center area. And I will absolutely say the staff there were amazing. I have always had a problem with needles and IVs and things of that nature, and they made it absolutely simple for me. My anesthesiologist was this beautiful lady who's from Lafayette, and we just had a blast talking, and they were all so wonderful and so nice. They made the procedure super easy. I know a lot of people seeking some kind of bariatric surgery have to do the EGD, and it's so simple. You don't even need to worry about it. They gave me a little cocktail, or my margarita, as my anesthesiologist kept saying. In my IV, was on my left side. The last thing I remember is them putting the little green bite block in my mouth before she topped me off, and I woke up in recovery. I sat around recovery for probably about 20 or 30 minutes, drank some water, and then went home. Walked out to the parking garage, no ill effects from it, went and had a light lunch, went and got some soup, and came home and napped for the rest of the day. So it was really a simple procedure. The only side effect I'm currently having is a little bit of gas in my tummy from where they inflate your stomach. For those people who aren't completely sure what the upper endoscopy entails, they take this little tiny camera on the end of a tube, and they put it down your throat and feed it into your stomach to look around everything of your esophagus and all the way down into your stomach and your duodenum at the bottom and everything, to make sure everything looks good. I did have a couple of areas that look irritated, so they went ahead and took biopsies of that, as well as having the hiatal hernia. So that's not a surprise. My mother has that as well. Several people in my family have, so I'm pretty familiar with it. But for those that don't know, there's a hole in your diaphragm called the hiatus that your esophagus runs through. And sometimes your stomach can protrude up through that hole in the diaphragm as well, causing a little bit of restriction that can lead to a lot of reflux and other issues. So it's not overtly dangerous, but it is something that can easily, be taken care of since they're already going to be in there. Great. The endoscopy was super duper easy. I'm not saying I would do it for fun, but it was nice to see Dr. Scarborough. He is the one that did the endoscopy. And we talked for a few minutes. I let him know that I've already completed all the other prerequisites. I had my psychology appointment on Monday. I sat down with this lovely psychologist. I believe it might have been a doctor, not sure, so we're just going to call her Ms. Douglas. And we talked about my childhood, my history with eating, my depression, my anxieties, my support system at home. So whether or not I have a good support system here, and I do. I have a wonderful support system, as well as my salon sisters at work. Many of them have lost a lot of weight over the past year and are completely supportive in my journey in this. They definitely plan to help keep me on track, and I'm going to count on them for that. I'm pretty sure one of them is going to remember every time I slapped a cookie out of her hand, and I count on that. I know she will. So they're all going to look out for me and help me out there as well. Work has been super supportive. All in all, they're helping me prepare for a leave of absence. So being in the salon industry, I'm trying to get back in the salon before prom starts. So that's definitely a big goal for me as well. Since this is my first video, bear with me a little bit as I try to work out some location and some lighting and some technology issues. I've never done this before, so I am trying to work out some kinks, but it is my intention to kind of carry this through my journey like a lot of people do. I know the videos have been super duper helpful to me, and there's so many people that I've watched. I've been watching Clusie, and I watch Chemistry Queen, and so many others. Their videos have really helped me, and I've seen it's kind of hard to find a woman who has the same stats as myself. Being short, but not, the number on the scale doesn't always indicate how large you really can be or how unhealthy you can really be. So I get a lot, I've had a lot of feedback from a few people saying, well, you know, you're not that heavy, you only weigh 230, why are you doing this? And while I only weigh 230, I am 5'2". I am very short, and it is all compacted in the middle of my body. And that's not the healthiest place for your weight to be. And in a family with a problem with high blood pressure and heart problems, it's the worst situation I can put myself in. I have done Weight Watchers off and on for a year. I am actually pretty active. I used to enjoy running a lot, and powerlifting and weightlifting, and all of these things are fun to me, but I can't physically get out there and exercise right now because when I do, my heart rate elevates too high, and the last thing I need to do is keel over from a heart attack. So I finally have decided that this is my option of last resort. I know everybody loves to hear stats, so I'll tell you mine. My highest weight recorded so far has been 235. My current weight this morning was 228. So that is what I'm sitting at right now. I am only 5'2", however, so that does put my BMI at approximately 42. I am a hairstylist, so I am on my feet for 8 hours a day, and the pain on my joints is incredible. My body is just not meant to hold this much weight. It is not a vanity issue for me. I like to say that I'm probably one of the most confident fat girls you'll ever meet, and it is true. I do a lot of work in the pinup areas, support our local burlesque community and things of that nature. So confidence is not really a big issue for me. It is merely from a health standpoint. I can't afford to leave my children. So I have decided to pursue this, and I am glad I'm doing it. But there's so many factors that go into it. It really needs to be a personal decision for everybody. And so this is my decision. This is what it has come to, and a lot of soul searching and research has gone into it. And so hopefully by my birthday, which is in May of this year, 2017, I will have undergone this procedure to help me regain my life, to regain myself. So my goal weight is 150 pounds, and my doctor and I feel like with a little bit of hard work on my part, that's going to be doable. And while that is above the weight goal for the BMI range, for the body stature that I am and the age that I am, we feel like that's going to be a good realistic goal for myself. So goal weight 150, and all we have to do now is wait. Later this week, they're going to compile all the reports from everything that I've done, every hoop I have jumped through, and they're going to send it off to my insurance company, and maybe next week, I would love to see by next week or the week after, have a surgery date set. So I'm going to keep you guys updated, and thanks for watching.